I am Assistant Director of Admissions here at UNT. I'm based in the Houston area, so I serve all Houston students and kind of just the little surrounding areas as well. So I'm y'all's person. If you have questions, I'll go through tons of information about UNT, the application process, cost, all of that fun stuff, and then you'll get my contact information at the end. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to talk about our location. It's kind of one of the more important things when you're thinking about a school, like where are you going, how far away is it, things like that. So our main campus is located in Denton, Texas. So Denton, Texas is about 45 minutes north of Dallas. So it could be between 4 and 5 hours from the Houston area. It is a college town. There's 2 universities there. So most of the people that are going to be in Denton are going to be college aged. So it makes it a super fun place. So we're considered the best small town in America, best college town in Texas. So really cool place for you to hang out. But then you have the big metroplex there for you to visit, on the weekends, or if you're just looking for something else to do, you have that area there as well. We do have a satellite campus in Frisco. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but I'll talk a little bit about it here. It is mainly for transfer students because they only offer your upperclassmen courses, and they don't offer all degree programs. So if you are interested in the Frisco campus, then make sure that the program that you're interested in is going to be offered there. Okay, so just some history and traditions. We were founded in 1890, so we are an established university that's been around for quite a while. We're actually founded above a hardware store in the Denton Square. So the Denton Square is basically our downtown area, and it's where all of our local restaurants, shops, and things like that are. You'll see a lot of students just walking around there. They'll picnic out on the lawn. So it really is a good hangout spot. So that's where we are founded at. We have changed our name 7 times since we were founded and finally ended up with University of North Texas, and that's kind of what's stuck around. Our official school colors are going to be green and white, with Scrappy being our mascot. Scrappy is an eagle, but we just say Scrappy is our mascot. And then we do have an unofficial mascot, which is Lucky the albino squirrel. And then we adopted the Mean Green nickname for our athletic teams after Mean Joe Green, who played football at UNT. So let's talk about kind of who our students are on campus. So we are a large university. We have about 40,000 students on our campus. I don't want that to scare you away. We do have more transfer students than anybody else that come onto our campus. Our class sizes are about 24, 25 when you're in your major specific classes, but just know those core classes like your English, your math, your science, those classes that everyone has to take are a little bit larger and can have, 200 students in those classes. We have over 2,600 international students from over 140 different countries. So very, very diverse population at UNT, and you can kind of see the breakdown here. We are considered an HSI, which is a Hispanic serving institution. So we have a lot of resources on our campus, not just for our Hispanic students, but also our first gen population as well. About 42% of our students are first gen. So lots of resources just to make sure you're taking advantage of those. So if you're kind of lost on campus or you don't know, where something is, where you need help, those are those places that you want to go to. We are a majority Texas resident school. We have over 1,200 students that are in the Office of Disability Access. So if you're needing any kind of help in your classes, you go through that office and they can get that additional help for you. And then we're also a Tier 1 research university. So basically that means we have students that work on world-class research at UNT. And you can start doing that as a freshman. So whether you're wanting to do that by yourself or with a professor, it's really just a great way for you to start building that resume. And so then you can start getting internships those years after. Okay, so I'll go into kind of our academic programs, things like that. So we are one university with 12 different colleges. I mentioned our main campus is in Denton, our satellite campus is in Frisco, and then we have online only programs as well. We have over 100 different bachelor's programs. Those are all going to be listed online. It would take up probably more than one slide if I had them on here listed. So there are a ton of different majors. If you want to know if we have something, throw it in the chat. I'll look at it after I present, and I can kind of give you a little bit more insight on if we have those majors or not. But 89 of our academic programs are ranked in the nation's top 100. So we dominate kind of a lot of those degree programs, so you know you're getting a great education from UNT. As far as our nationally recognized programs, we are the first school to ever offer aviation logistics, consumer experience management, and emergency administration and planning. So those are just really cool and just booming areas. So we've created these programs, and any other school that offers those programs now kind of model those after ours, since we are the first ones to ever offer them. As far as our rankings, everyone knows us as a music school specifically for jazz studies. So we are ranked #1 in Texas and #2 in the US for a jazz studies program. That kind of is just across the board for our music programs in general, but really great programs there. And then communication design, that's actually our graphic design program. We just have a fancy name for it. Is ranked #1 in the Southwest of the United States. So we don't only have, your artsy majors. We have anything from business, education, engineering, psychology, your languages. There's really just a ton of different majors that you can choose from. All right, campus life. There's so many things that you can do on campus, and the #1 thing that I think of is joining a student organization. So you're not required to join a student org, and there's not like a limit to how many student orgs you can join, but it really is just a great way for you to get into meeting new people and share an interest with. Some of the more popular ones are going to be like your academic and professional student orgs. So something related to your major or the profession you're wanting to go into. Most of the time when you're meeting with those, faculty members are meeting with you. They'll bring in companies to come talk to you. So you get to network with them that way, and you could potentially maybe even get, an internship, just depending on if that's what they're coming to talk to you about. So those ones are really important. But then you have all the fun ones like Greek life, any kind of community service, club sports, things like that. There are a ton of events that happen on campus as well. So you'll see just posters or flyers kind of all around campus with any kind of university sponsored events. Most of the time there's going to be like free food, or they're handing out some t-shirts or UNT swag that really gets the students there. They're interested in the event, but sometimes there's like really cool like speakers that come or something like that. So there's always going to be something on campus for you to do. We do have quite a few UNT libraries. I'm actually going to talk about our libraries a little bit later on, so I don't want to talk too much about that, but we do have more than one. We have over 1,000 concerts that are hosted by the College of Music each year. So these are free for students to attend. It's really cool just to hear kind of what the students in the College of Music are doing. We do have a jazz ensemble that is Grammy nominated. So that's really cool for students to get to hear really what they're doing and, the intenseness of that ensemble. And then we do have quite a few art exhibits on campus as well that will feature work from our CVAD students. So you can kind of walk through those at your own pace and support the students at UNT that are in the College of Visual Art and Design. Okay, so now I want to talk about living on campus. So you are required to live on campus at UNT your first year. After that, it's completely up to you. So we have 15 residence halls and 5 dining halls. So there's a lot of factors that might go into choosing, what hall you really want to live in. And that could be anything from how many roommates you might have, maybe what your bathroom looks like, if you're sharing a bathroom with everyone on the floor, or you're just sharing it with one other room, or you have a private bathroom. If there is a dining hall that's attached, so if you're wanting to just, roll out of bed and walk downstairs and get food, sometimes that's really important to you. So there really are just a ton of things that, go into choosing that residence hall that you're living in. But we do have some different options which allow you to be housed in an area with students that share a same interest as you or are in the same major as you. So if you're wanting to be in one of those living learning communities, you can apply for a certain hall to be in that living learning community. So you kind of have friends maybe that are going to be the same classes as you, things like that. As far as choosing a roommate at UNT, you do have a few options. If you know somebody that is going to be attending UNT, then you can request each other to be a roommate, and then y'all will be roommates. We do have an online chat for students that are looking for roommates, and you can kind of see if y'all connect or anything like that, and then you can choose each other that way, or you can go with somebody completely random. So you definitely have some options there. In the halls that are for freshmen, you don't have kitchens in your room, but there are kitchens that are in the hall for you to use. So that's why sometimes having that dining hall attached can be a little bit important because you just want to go get some food. But with your meal plan, you can go into any of the 5 dining halls as many times as you would like. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Each dining hall serves kind of different styles of food. So if you're wanting like some Southern style food, we have an all vegan cafe, an allergen free cafe. There really are just options there. But you also get flex dollars on your student ID. And flex dollars is money that you get to spend at the retail dining restaurants that we have on campus. So if you're not wanting to eat in the dining hall one day and you want to go get Chick-fil-A, you can just go to Chick-fil-A, use that those flex dollars, and you're not paying out of pocket for it. Because you've already paid for that in your meal plan. That's already on your cost of attendance bill. So that's the same thing works for you know, Starbucks, Fuzzy Taco Shop, Which Smoothie King, whatever you would like that we have retail dining on campus, you can use those flex dollars for. So we are NCAA Division I and Conference USA. So athletics are pretty big on our campus. Every home game, including football, are free for students. So that's probably going to be like one of the biggest things that you can do on campus is go support the Mean Green. But some of our traditions will revolve around athletics, and so it'll kind of get you involved that way as well. If you're not wanting to compete at the D1 level, we do have something called club sports, and so you would try out for the team, compete against other universities. You're just not eligible for any kind of athletic scholarships. Or we have the more fun and relaxed side of things with intramural sports, and that is just UNT students competing against UNT students. And so they make it a little bit more fun. It's not just, you know, your typical sports. They'll do like sand volleyball or Quidditch or, you know, just more fun and relaxed things that way. And you can join a random team, you can create your own team, and then quite a few of the residence halls will get teams together as well. So then you can compete with your residence hall. So that's the more fun side of, you know, if you're a little bit competitive, but you want to have a little bit of fun, intramural sports is definitely for you. Okay, so support is really important, and to know that you have a ton of support on campus. So I'm going to go over some of our support that we have on campus. This is not everything, there's tons, but I do want to go over a few on here because it is really important. So in terms of academic support, the number one thing I think of is your academic advisor. Your academic advisor is there to make sure you're taking the right classes for your degree program so you can graduate on time. They're also there if you're wanting to change your major, so they can help you change your major and go through, you know, if there's new classes you have to take, or maybe it's just a few classes you have to take that are a little bit extra. They're really there to kind of guide you to make sure that you are taking those classes that you need so that you can graduate from UNT. The second thing I think of is tutoring services. So we have a ton of free tutoring on campus, whether that be in the Learning Center, our libraries, and then we have a math lab and a writing center. So whatever you're needing help with, going to those places and getting that help, whether that be a homework assignment or you just didn't understand something in a lecture, they can kind of break it down for you. And in some of your classes, you might have an SI. And so an SI is a current student that has already taken this class and received an A in it, and they will sit in on your classes. They'll write the same notes that are going on in the lecture. They'll hold study sessions so that they can kind of break it down for you a little bit more. So those are also another opportunity for you to get that tutoring, but it's just specific to the class that you're taking. Second, well-being and safety. The two I want to mention on here are going to be our health and wellness centers. So we do have a doctor, an eye doctor, and a pharmacy on campus. It's not free, but it is based on like your insurance. So providing your insurance, you might have, a copay or something like that. But it's nice to know that you have somewhere on campus to go if you are sick or you get hurt or something like that, without having to find somebody in town or make the drive back home. You have it right there to access. The second thing I want to mention is our rec center. So if you're super into like working out or anything, we do have a rec center. It's free for students, so every student has free access to it, but you can go in there and work out. We have like our weights, cardio machines. There's an indoor soccer, volleyball, and basketball courts, a pool, and a rock wall. So a lot of different things in there. But they also put events on. So I think one of the more popular ones is dive-in movies. So they just throw a bunch of floaties in the pool and they'll show a popular movie. So that's always fun just to kind of see the events that they're putting on, because I'm not somebody who likes to work out. So I like to go there for the events. The next thing I want to talk about is our study abroad office. A lot of students are interested in studying abroad. So we do offer a ton of study abroad opportunities that go to over 40 different countries. So you attend a study abroad interest session and they'll go over kind of what those opportunities are, what classes you can take, what countries you're able to go to, all of that fun stuff that revolves study abroad. The cost is really going to depend on, what country you're going to or how long the program is, things like that. But they'll help you find that best fit for kind of what you're looking for. And then the last thing on here that I want to talk about is our Career Center. So we have quite a few career centers on campus, and that's a place for you to go if you're looking for a job on campus, off campus, whether that be part-time, full-time, internships, anything like that. They're not just there, for the job postings. That is kind of why majority of the students go there, but they also help you write your resume, interview processes, things like that as well. All right, so I believe we will get into the requirements portion of my presentation. So our application is on Apply Texas or the Common App. Either application is fine with us, does not matter which one you use. We have a $75 application fee, but we do take fee waivers as well. All of our fee waivers are listed on our website because we do offer quite a few. And then we just need you to submit an official high school transcript. We are test optional, and we're going to continue being test optional even after this year and the next year. So if you have a 3.0 or higher unweighted GPA, you have guaranteed admission. You do not have to submit test scores. If you do decide to test, then our chart still stands the same. Whatever your class rank is will be the certain score needed for guaranteed admission. If you test more than one time on the same test, we will super score. So we'll take the higher section scores, add those together, or average those together for the ACT to better help you. And if you are super close where you just don't meet our requirements, we do have an individual review process as well. And so our individual review process is a holistic review. So we look at everything. We're not just going to look at one thing like your class rank and test score or just your GPA. We'll ask for an essay. We'll ask for letters of recommendation. We'll look at all of your extracurriculars. Maybe you have a job that you're working. We're going to look at everything that you submit to us, resumes, all of that. And we'll use all of that information to make a decision. So as far as the timeline, our application opens July 1st for Applied Texas, August 1st for the Common App. I will go more into detail on financial aid, but I just want to mention that it does open October 1st. Same thing with our own general scholarship application. But again, I will be going over that in a lot more detail. January 15th is our financial aid priority date, so you want to make sure you get it in before that time to be guaranteed any kind of aid. You don't have to apply for housing until about mid-January, so you have basically a whole semester to really look at all of the options for housing before you even apply for housing. Our deadline for admission and for scholarships is March 1st. So we do have kind of a later deadline than most universities. So we want to make sure that you have everything in by that time so that you can get admitted and you can be eligible for scholarships. You can still apply after that date, but we want you to apply before then so you are considered for those scholarships. We don't want you to kind of miss that opportunity. So making sure that you mark that date on your calendar so that you don't miss it. And then in the summer, before you attend UNT, you'll have your orientation and then you'll have your move-in date as well. I briefly want to go over transfer admissions just in case any of y'all are thinking about transferring into a university. So for us, it depends on how many hours you have from a community college or a university for the GPA that is needed. So if you have less than 15 hours, then we still need your high school transcript. If you have more than 15 hours, we don't. The more hours you have, the easier it is to get in. So the lower the GPA requirement is. And you can come in any semester for a transfer student. You know, you can come in your summer, fall, spring, anything like that. For transfers, scholarships, those are going to be for fall and spring semesters. For freshmen, it's just coming in the fall. So that is kind of one of those perks for our transfers. Oops, it skipped a slide. Okay, so I'm going to go into cost, financial aid, scholarships, kind of the more important things. So our cost of attendance is about $26,000 a year for a Texas resident that's living on campus. Since freshmen have to live on campus, that's why I'm including that cost in here. I just want to mention this is an estimated cost. It is not a set cost that everybody is going to pay. And some things really just depend on, you know, how many hours you're going to take, what residence hall and meal plan option you choose. If you rent books or buy books, if you're going to bring a car with you or not bring a car with you. So don't let the price scare you. It does change per person. So I just want to give you kind of that estimate. So then we can kind of look at scholarships and financial aid, and you can kind of see if that fit is for you. So for financial aid, about 75% of our students receive financial aid or scholarships. That is a huge chunk of our campus. So just making sure that you're filling out, you know, the FAFSA or TASFA and then our general scholarship application so that you're eligible for that aid and those scholarships, and making sure you're filling them out as soon as you can because they are first come, first serve. We give out over $400 million in financial aid, over $50 million in scholarships. All of that is free money. So don't miss that opportunity. We want to make sure that that price can go down. For scholarships, our academic scholarship for freshmen is the UNT Excellence. It ranges from $1,000 to $12,000 every year for 4 years. So you have that renewable option, and then you can still apply for other scholarships as well. So apply for as many scholarships as possible because we will stack those. which means we will add them together and subtract that from your cost of attendance. And scholarships do change year to year. So sometimes scholarships are only for freshmen or only for juniors. So applying for those scholarships every year so that you can make that cost go down for you and your family. And then I do want to mention our Emerald Eagle Scholars program. So this is for high achieving freshmen with high financial need. We cover tuition and fees for those students. And so then they're only responsible for covering your housing and meal plan. And then you can add scholarships on top of that to help cover those other costs. So that is a very, very great program. You don't have to apply for it. They will reach out to you if you are eligible for it. But definitely something for our high achieving students with high financial need. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about events on here. We do have a preview each fall and spring. We don't have our dates released just yet. We're still kind of working on everything. We did it virtual last year. We're hoping to do it back on campus this year. So be on the lookout for that. But it's a Saturday event, free event for you and your family to come and get everything UNT. So you can get a tour of campus and our housing, our residence halls. You can talk to somebody in admissions, the financial aid office, orientation office. You get to meet student orgs and current students and talk to them. And then you get to talk to academic advisors as well. So it really is a great opportunity for you to get everything answered at one time. So be on the lookout for that date. And the only other thing on here that I want to talk about are our campus tours. So we do have in-person tours right now, but we still have virtual tours as well. So if you want to drive to campus, sign up for a campus tour, in-person campus tour on our tours website. If you're wanting to do a virtual tour, you'll still sign up on our tours website, and you'll still get a tour that is guided by a current student, one of our Ingle ambassadors. And so they'll give you everything campus related, but then you can still talk to a current student and ask them as many questions as you would like about their experience. And that's kind of what's nice about our tours. All right, and then this is my contact information. I'll make sure I throw it in the chat for y'all so that you have it. But I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that we can answer any questions.